Welcome back to our monthly news recap for Pink Floyd related news for February 2023. Roger Waters has announced that he's re-recorded The Dark Side of the Moon. So this is going to be a solo project. He released this via 2 news interviews that he gave. It seems that it was originally planned for release in March along with the album's 50th anniversary, but that's now been delayed until May. He did also suggest that there's going to be a one-off concert for this, probably held in London from our sources. Roger said of the concept, "It's meant to reflect on the meaning of the work, to bring out the heart and soul of the album, musically and spiritually. I'm the only one singing my songs on these new recordings, and there are no rock and roll guitar solos. There will be spoken words superimposed on instrumental pieces like On the Run and The Great Gig in the Sky." The news has divided the Pink Floyd community. Outright anger on one side and a willingness to give it a try. I guess wait for the release in May is probably the best way forward. Let's see what he's done. On Wednesday, February the 8th, Roger Waters briefed the Security Council of the United Nations. He joined the meeting via video link. He did call the invasion by Russia illegal, but also gave his opinions about NATO pushing their own agenda and threatening the security of Ukraine. His general message was one of peace, and it seemed well accepted by most people in the auditorium that day. Nick Mason and the Saucer Full of Secrets have confirmed a handful of dates, 7 in total, for later this summer. The tour will start in Katowice on the 16th of July. We are expecting more dates to be confirmed. This is the first batch. Tickets are available at their website, so that's the saucerfullofsecrets.com. Go over there if you're free this summer and want to catch a great show. On Saturday, the 25th of February, Polly Sampson uploaded to her Facebook account a photo of David Gilmour with Mark Knopfler, showing them both in the studio. Obviously, this got the Pink Floyd community excited. Guy Fletcher, who runs the British Grove studio, owned by Mark Knopfler, posted on his Instagram account that he'd spent a lovely day recording with David Gilmour for an as-yet unannounced Teenage Cancer Trust project. So it sounds like they're recording something. I have heard a rumour that there's something to do with Jeff Beck being planned by various artists. So it could be along those lines, but let's wait and see. We will, of course, keep you updated as we move on. A Japanese-only release of The Dark Side of the Moon on SACD has been announced. It's the 50th anniversary special. This has been commissioned in very much the lines of the Atom Heart Mother one that came out a few years back. It's a 7-inch cardboard sleeve mini LP. So it's designed to resemble a 7-inch, but it's packed with goodies as well in there, with extras including replica posters, replica postcards from the original release, and it's actually designed to look like the 4-channel release from Japan back in the day. It looks like an interesting release. You can check it out on websites like cdjapan.co.jp. It is limited, so get over there and get it ordered. At the moment, the release date is set for early April. Abbey Road Studios have announced a collaboration with Pink Floyd that looks at Dark Side of the Moon and its 50th anniversary. So far, they've added 5 items to the shop: a long sleeve 1973 t-shirt, a regular 1973 t-shirt, a Pink Floyd 1973 hoodie, a bucket hat, and a Pink Floyd 1973 tote bag. All of these are unique designs. And like I say, it's a full collaboration officially with Pink Floyd. Check them out at shop.abbeyroad.com. Our favourite online podcast, Brain Damage, the definitive Pink Floyd radio show, have uploaded a new episode. It's called Japan 1972 and finds Pink Floyd performing in the land of the rising sun. It's a great recording. This was around the time when bootleggers were starting to get serious, especially with some of the equipment they had in Japan at the time. So you do notice that some of the early Japanese recordings really were some of the best. It's a great show, and listen for a great performance of Atom Heart Mother at the end. Check that out at floydpodcast.com. The UK magazine Record Collector will have their March edition focusing on Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon. It's a 50th anniversary special. It will also include a look at Stefano Tarquini's book, Any Colour You Like. He's gathered together 700 copies of Dark Side of the Moon and detailing each one and how rare it is, value and that kind of thing. Looks interesting. It's going to be in shops in the UK on Thursday, the 23rd of February. So check that out. On the 14th of February, a rare Pink Floyd poster from 1969 sold for £3,825. That's about the equivalent to 4,600 US dollars. It was for the date at St James Hall in Chesterfield, so a rare poster going for a big amount of money. This is following a trend now. It does seem since Pink Floyd started putting on their exhibitions back in 2017 that a lot of their early memorabilia is going for big amounts now. That was at auction at Bonham's. After a 20-year break, Les Claypool's Fearless Flying Frog Brigade is going back out on tour in the USA. Interesting to us for two reasons. Firstly, they're going to be doing a full set of Pink Floyd Animals. So the full album will be played live. The band also includes Harry Waters on keys and, interestingly, Sean Lennon on guitar. Sounds great. It's going to be touring all across America this summer. Details at lesclaypool.com. Once again, Nick Mason is opening up his country gardens. This is something he does annually at his home in Wiltshire. It's going to take place over the 3rd and 4th of June, a weekend. Tickets are available now at middlewickhouseopengarden.com. If you're unfamiliar with the event, he basically opens up his gardens. He pulls in some of his cars from his garage in London, lets people walk around. You can meet him personally. He's happy to sign autographs. And the £8 charge to get in goes to charity. A worthwhile event to attend if you can. Gary Kemp, the guitarist from Nick Mason's Saucerful of Secrets, has appeared on the podcast Rock's Back Pages. It's a great listen, great delve into his history, how he first discovered Pink Floyd. It's quite interesting. I definitely recommend it. It's a good listen. He, of course, hosts his own podcast with Guy Pratt, The Rock and Tours. They're back in season at the moment, releasing a new episode every Sunday, so check that out as well. That concludes our monthly roundup for news Pink Floyd related, February 2023.